The deep levels of nerddom inside your PC laptop are mind-boggling. What is that? Fucking Alienware? What kind of laptop is that? What do you have? It's a Razer. It's a Razer. It's a laptop. You're probably gonna get that new Galaxy phone that folds in half, aren't you?
I was actually looking at a bus the other day.
Oh fuck! It's so crazy that the species of human that lives in the PC world, and also. That species also, I know, secretly holds themselves in high regard against us Apple people, right? You look at us and go, Apple's okay. Consoles.
Yeah, gaming consoles.
Right. Well, that's a whole other conversation. What are you apologizing to Alex for? Alex is also here. The other Alex.
Consoles.
He's.
Yeah, I do. I'm a console boy.
You guys are console guys? You guys talk consoles? This is the thing that.
PCs, consoles, never mind.
What's the fucking difference between a PC? What's the difference between a PC and a console? I wish you guys out there could see what I'm looking at with these two. It's amazing. What's the difference between a PC and a console?
PC can play almost anything. Console, not as much, but it's much easier to use.
I feel like I should swing a camera at you guys because I really this is already taking a left turn. This show we're talking about, but what is a console for? What is a PC for? PC is for organizing your pornography from Sweden. That's animal.
Hardcore gaming.
Hard.
Console is for teenagers and children.
And he's a console guy, so you're firing shots at Alex.
I'm just representing the PC conglomerate.
Here's what I love about the true nerd world. Okay, like this is what I love about it is that technically you could say I'm a nerd because of my interests and the fact that I used to read a lot when I had more time and I grew up half nerd. Let's just say I'm a little bit nerdy. Okay, my interests skew pretty fucking nerdy, but I didn't grow up in a nerdy environment. So this is what you get. Okay, now with real like. So I'm like a daywalker nerd, right? But you guys are true blood nerds, right? You guys are like, you got PCs and consoles, right? You guys are not true blood nerds. You guys are whatever the fucking guys were. You're like the nerds that were born from other nerds directly, like
Inbred nerds.
no, like if vampires have sex and they have a vampire kid, it's a pure blood. You're pure blood nerds because you're talking about PCs. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, like. I have enough sense to operate Photoshop and to create things, and I can stumble around and make my way through meetings, and I can be eloquent when I want to, but in my heart of hearts, I'm not as nerdy as you are. Now, I'm not talking shit. I'm just stating facts, and I know that within that world, within this hierarchy and structure of this world, there's, you're looking down on this man because he has a console. You're also physically looking down on him because you're 9 feet tall, and I'm taking a picture. I mean, his legs look like it looks like someone it looks like he's in the couch and another person is comically sticking their legs out of the couch to represent legs as a weird joke. That's how insanely long and cricket-like your legs are as they tuck into those size 15 shoes. 13s. I doubt that because I'm a 13 and those things look like fucking skis. Anyways. Here we are talking. This is now the PC console gaming show, and we're talking about the worlds within the worlds of the nerd world. And the thing about nerds, like hippies, is that they can be very passive aggressive, and there's a lot of anger, a lot of stored up, welled up anger. And I know that Jason gets very angry at me because when I'm giving him shit, he gives me this look, and it's like I think he may school shoot / samurai sword me at some point. Or he may, delete everything at some point and say, like accidentally, quote unquote. He may actually one day just tell me that he forgot to back everything up in a giant database just to kind of, see me twitch. And I think that the joy he gets from watching me flop around like a fucking fish in anger is like he gives him a little chubbiness in the groin area. Anyways, this is a Powerful Truth Angels, and that's been the show. It's been really good. No, we're going to do a call-in segment. It's going to be great. Gonna have call-ins. Maddie will come in any moment and just jump in. He'll glide right in here like some sort of a stingray that ate a bunch of other stingrays and opened a restaurant. No, he'll be here pretty soon. And what have I been doing, Alex? I'll tell you. I'm talking to Alex off screen, not myself. I'm not interviewing myself because that would be fucking crazy. But I am essentially talking to the void right here, except for if you guys weren't here, because you could walk away and leave right now, I'd be talking to my house.
We're rolling on that, right?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Oh, we're rolling. That's great. We're rolling. Are we recording any of this horse shit that I'm just spewing out of my mouth? Okay, so what do we got? That's 6 minutes we did. So I think we're doing really good. Anyways, it's the Powerful Truth Angels show, live and direct, coming to you from Los Angeles. I've been running around for a minute. I've been running around. It's been wedding season. Before that, I was in New York. I went to New York for a job. I shot a commercial. It was hectic. It was fun. I had a great time. Came back, shot some more of it here. Also, Born and Raised is a nonstop 24/7 thing that we all do together. A shout out to the Born and Raised crew. Darius, where are the samples? Sponto, don't make more samples. Justin helped create the art for the samples. Ricky, no one knows what he's doing. He's just catching diseases. Jesse is just like herding people around, taking pictures, running around. Jesse might be the glue. He might secretly be the one person that if he disappeared, we might all die, because Jesse really makes things happen at the last minute or in the first minute. You guys following me now? Yeah. Follow me now. Okay. My shout out to BXR. Yeah, so I've been running around. I've been doing shit. I went to New York for a minute, came back, went back out for a wedding. Went to a wedding in the Hamptons. I'd never been to the Hamptons before. The Hamptons is it's like where rich people go when they want to go somewhere nice. You know, like it's like, and everyone I talk to says, and I mean that is like, if like the rich world is already at a level of like nice, 1% opulence, and they go, well, let's go somewhere really nice, and they go to the Hamptons where everything's perfect. There's not a fucking blade of grass out of place in that town. It's insane. It's really beautiful. What are we talking about? Hamptons? Went to the Hamptons. No, let's not go back to that shit. We went to the Hamptons. And I went there with my girlfriend and went to a wedding out there. It was really nice. Shout out to Ben for getting married. And one of my girlfriend's brothers says, ask him why he's getting married. And it's a great question. Why do you get married? Well, I don't know. I think sometimes in the olden days, you want to join together great families. And I think sometimes getting married was like a way to get a bunch of oxen or bags of spice, maybe. There's dowries and sometimes they merge bloodlines. That's how you get married in the olden days. I think in this day and age, people get married probably because they would like to be left in the wills of their grandparents, and grandparents and mothers, they need this stuff. Like they just need to see it. They gotta have it. I mean, I think like weddings are to grandparents and parents, it's like what a rave is to a 17-year-old. It's just pure ecstasy to them. They're just like, I think that weddings for old people, for grandparents, I feel like weddings for them is just like, it's like you're on Molly for 7 hours. They're just like undulating, just feeling like it's like their perfect terror, because every fucking wedding you go to is full of old people. I mean, there's young people too, and they're doing that thing, but keep your eye out because it's full of old people, and that's where they're always at. They're at the fucking weddings, and this is their heroin. They gotta have it. They gotta have their fucking heroin. They gotta have their fix. They gotta have their wedding. It's fucking wedding season, guys. Are you guys going to any weddings? Have you guys been to a wedding?
No, I've been to a wedding.
You've been to one wedding?
Not this year.
Not this year. How many weddings have you been to total?
Total, I think
3.
3.
Okay. No, 0. Zip weddings. No, yeah, you haven't hit that age yet. You'll hit that age where there'll be a wave of children and a wave of weddings, and it's going to happen before you know it, and you're going to be like, holy shit, I'm at a wedding. And I'm not going to lie. Whenever I see a wedding and I see the union of two people, it's like most times when people get married, and we're talking about people that have their shit together, it's probably the most beautiful moment in their lives up to that point, right? When they get married, because everything's perfect. They got everything figured out. They're in great shape. They look good. They come together. They have this union. Everything's ironed out. Most times, I'll tell you that when my dad got married, this was in the 80s, and we went to Las Vegas, and my dad got married, and he married my stepmother. And when they got married, I'm pretty sure the old man had tied a few on. It was a very sloppy affair. Sorry, I know you're listening, Pops, but it's a powerful truth, Angels. I got to tell the truth. I love you. But that's what happened. And I do remember, I got to tell you, the wedding video from that affair. This is how I know it was the 80s, because the editor took the video and chopped it up So it emulated max headroom. Do you guys know what max headroom is? The and when he got married, he was like I do. Like that's what the wedding video was, and that's scarring as a child to see that as that's my model for matrimony. So if I get married, there's gonna have to be a wild edit. I think I'm just gonna I think I'm gonna have like a TikTok kind of floss wedding, nene slash, whatever the fuck dance is popping in that year. That's how I'm gonna theme my wedding. I'm just gonna go over the top. I'm gonna stay fucking relevant. I'm gonna stay so goddamn viral on my wedding. It's gonna be, it's gonna be an affair. I mean, you can't go. No one can go because you're not gonna let anybody in because that's the mark of it. Like you have to wait to get in, right? You got to velvet rope this shit, and it's gonna be very, very viral. It's gonna be live. You can only share it. Yeah, you're gonna have to be verified to get into the wedding, and even though I'm not verified, and you're gonna have to have a certain amount of followers, even though I don't have that many followers. But that's gonna be my criteria for getting married. How many callers do we have waiting now? Now that we've chewed up, what are we at? 12 minutes of the show. Hey guys, look, we're all adults here, and some of us choose to use nicotine to relax, focus, or just unwind after a long day. I got a friend named Renee down the street. He likes to just take down a hot cig in the middle of his traumatic, stressful situations that he's going through. Renee, I'm speaking directly to you, and there's another way for you to relax. You don't have to take a hot cig down in the middle of the day in your backyard while you're getting a suntan and letting your luxurious hair grow from the vitamin D provided by God's giant flaming orb. No, there's another way for you to chill out and process your trauma and emotions and what's going on in your life and what's making life hard and what's making life better. And Lucy Nicotine is a company that was created to help nicotine users find a cleaner option and feel better about the ways they consume nicotine. The latest product is Slim Nicotine pouches, which contain pure synthetic nicotine and provide the same satisfaction that nicotine users expect without any tobacco at all, Renee. That means put down the American spirits, the yellow pack, the blue pack, and the other pack, and pick up the Slim Nicotine pouch. No tobacco. You don't have to smoke. No carcinogenics, no smoke in your lungs. You don't even need a lighter. You just get the pouch. Lucy Slim pouches use the newest technology for synthesizing pure nicotine in the lab. None of the tobacco, all of the nicotine satisfaction. Imagine that. None of the bullshit, just the pleasure. Lucy Slim pouches include both coconut oil and gum base to provide a soft, fluffy texture that enhances the flavor and doesn't dry out your mouth. I'm a big proponent of coconut oil. You can use it for almost anything, and I have. They come in 3 strengths, 4, 8, and 12 milligrams, and 3 exclusive and delicious flavors, spearmint, mango, and cool cider. What have I used coconut oil for? I've used it for my hair, I've used it for cooking, and I've used it as a lubricant. I personally used to smoke like a fiend, and I'd get in a pack a day, and I'd walk around and I'd be wheezing. I'm a person that has restricted breathing already. I have asthma, and I love the way a cigarette felt in the morning. First thing in the morning, you have a cigarette, you clear your head, the world comes into focus. But I can't smoke. I cannot smoke. No smoking for me. So what do? I switch to the Lucy Slim pouches. I'm sleepy two-tone. I'm switching to the Lucy Slim pouches, and I want to relax, and I want to take a load off. Why are you looking at me like that? This is the best ad read you've ever heard in your life. It's 2021. Okay, don't compromise when you're choosing your nicotine products. Go with the newest tobacco-free options from Lucy. Powerful Truth Angels listeners, go to lucy.co and use promo code PTA2021 to get 20% off your order of Lucy Slim pouches or any other Lucy products. That's lucy.co and use promo code PTA2021 at checkout. Also, I have to give this disclaimer. Warning. This product contains non-tobacco nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical, but delicious. Go to lucy.co and be sure to use that promo code PTA2021.
What's your opinion on inviting exes to wedding? I've gotten into an argument with an ex.
This is great because I'm going to bring that up. Okay. My opinion on inviting. Listen, here's my take on that. If you're getting married, okay, if you're at the time, there's a movie I saw. It's about, I think it's the one where Jennifer Aniston is a housekeeper and all her friends are rich. I forget the name of it. But I think it might be called like Rich Friends or some shit like that. I don't know. But Jennifer Aniston is a housekeeper and all her friends are rich. And it's all these like, they're not yuppies, but they're well-to-do couples. You know, a pair of them are screenwriters. One of them sells fucking sweaters. I don't know. But this woman was saying, this woman's driving home in her car talking to her husband. And her husband was gay, but he wasn't out. And she's talking to her husband and she's saying, how can you be married to someone and have never seen their asshole? And the reason why I bring that up is by the time you get married, you should have seen that person's. You should have seen. You're gonna see you'll have seen your wife's asshole, but you should have seen your husband's asshole, and like you should really have seen it in full fucking crystal clear 4K, right? That's a prereq. But what I mean by that, what that's a metaphor for, is if you're getting married, I would like to think that the fucking skeletons have been exhumed and they've been brushed by the anthropologist. That's you, the anthropologist in your relationship, which is her, obviously, and they've been and you too, because you have to exclude. She's got skeletons too, and I'm gonna tell you too. Our skeletons are pretty simple and clunky. Women's skeletons, I think that I personally have a belief that women can compartmentalize their skeletons in a much more. I think they have much more stronger powers of compartmentalizing. That could be construed as what you want, but I feel like I feel like men, and of course, like I'm saying this as a man, and you can say what you want, but I feel like we have more guilt. Maybe that's just me personally.
We can't process shit.
What? What's that?
We can't process shit.
They can process it, compartmentalize, and they'd be like, well, you know, I fucked those 8 guys on spring break, but that I don't need to. He doesn't need to know that, and it's not going to affect them. Whereas, like, if I go on spring break, which I've never actually been on spring break, and I'm too old to go on spring break. But if I did go on spring break and I fucked 8 people, I would be torn apart by guilt. I think I would, but maybe not. Who the fuck knows? Anyways, what I'm trying to get to is by the time you get married, those skeletons they got to come out. They got it because you can't, like, this is the goal line, right? This is the final fucking the 10-yard, whatever the fuck it is, a demilitarized zone, and all that shit's got to come out. So by the time you get to the wedding, there should be no new bodies, right? No new bodies should come out. All the bodies need to be fucking exhumed and discussed. And I need to know. And I don't want to know, but I should know, because I don't want to find out on my own, 3 years in, that like, oh, you fucked Greg. You fucked Greg? You fucked Greg, the fucking guy, with the giant pecs, and who has a McLaren, and he just piped you down with his monster fucking weapon. And now you tell me after we get married, I need to know this. I need to digest that soon, because we need to know these things.
No one wants to be a Tom to the shit.
Yeah. Exactly. Nobody wants to be Tom. Nobody wants to be Tom to the Shiv. And I think women look at Shiv and go, fuck yeah, Shiv. And I look at Tom and go, fuck Tom. It's no good. But Tom's still hanging in there. You know that he hung in there, right? Succession's coming back, by the way. So yeah, nobody wants to be Tom to the Shiv. So I think that by the time we get to that wedding, that we need to know about the bodies. And that brings me to this really funny meme. It's funny you mentioned that, because there's a meme, and there's a meme that I posted today just about that. And the meme is, one day you will kiss your bride in front of her 6 exes, 3 besties who hit it, and the one night stand guy who only bought her a cider, an old dude she will introduce as her uncle. They will all eat your food recklessly like they did your wife. This is just reality, man. Personally, I don't want to date someone that hasn't been out fucking around. It hasn't gotten their fucking miles in. It hasn't bodied some people. Okay, because I don't want to deal with, like, I don't need to educate you and get you through the first fucking 7 years of learning how to screw. I don't want to do that. So I need you to. I'm happy that my girlfriend, quote unquote, hypothetical girlfriend, because I can't be talking about my girlfriend, but might be, I don't know, has had a life before me. But I will say that I go to the wedding with Ella, and I have to go, and I just go. She introduced me to someone, and I look at the guy, and I look at him, and I wait a few minutes. I grab her by the arm, and I go, "Did you fuck him?" I don't do it like that, but I go, "You fucked him," and a lot of times she's like, "Yeah," and I just go, and I ingest it. I take it. It's like a tiny Tic Tac size grenade that I swallow. I swallow it. Take it all the way down to my gut, and it goes poof, and it blows up, and I move on, because that's what you do in my generation. We're the generation that built the Berlin Wall, that made the nuclear bomb, and made the microwave. And we know how to just chew shit up and just grit our teeth and push through, right? We're also talking to a guy who's like avidly in psychotherapy, so I'm a complete pussy. But I will say this. I eat it. I take it. I go, you fucked him? You fucked him? She goes, yeah. And she doesn't give a fuck. She's like, yeah, I fucked him. Like she's not even shy about it. That's what's good. Because if they're shy and they're weird about it, that's when things get funky, because they're not processing it. That she doesn't give it. She's like, yeah, I fucked that guy. I'm like, well, that guy looks like Howard Stern's nephew, and you had sex with him. She's like, and she just doesn't give a shit because she's young and she had a life before me, and and like she doesn't know that those guys end up on the list. And the list is a list that I compile. And it's, it's a chunky list. And I need to systematically figure out how to slowly destroy them. And that's kind of really the only reason that I pursue that I'm an entrepreneur, or that I try to do things, is so I can create enough of an infrastructure and curry enough favor and power and collect enough money, so then I can take all of that and just systematically destroy everyone that my girlfriend's had sex with. And that's the plan. And you got to have a fucking plan, because otherwise, what are we all doing this for? Even though it's all bullshit, but you got to have something to strive. Where are you going, Alex? What are you doing? He's adjusting. Okay. So yeah, that whole thing, being with your girlfriend at the wedding or wherever, it could be at Lassen's, and she runs into Kip Wellington, and he's got a square jaw, and he's casually wearing a sweater and some Wayfarers, and he's got some tight chinos on, and and he's like in half an inch taller than you, and he might be a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, and you have to ask, and those are the ones that hurt when they go, yeah, I fucked him, and I go, well, oh, you fucked them, yeah. And then the worst thing that can happen is that when they say that, if you whip and look at them closely, if their eyes dilate, it's bad news. If their eyes dilate and you see the hair on their neck stand up, it's really bad, because it's a sign, a signifier in the animal kingdom that goals were achieved in the bedroom with your girlfriend that you're currently with, and you have to eat that. You got to keep moving on, because if you don't do that, you can play the game with each other that no one's ever fucked anybody, and that's a stupid game to play, because how long are you going to keep that shit up? Because how did your girlfriend learn how to do the fucking triple Lindy suction cup fucking Spider-Man twist pump on the old fucking thunder stick if she didn't figure out that process with about 30 to 40 other people? So pick your battles, gentlemen. And when you get married, make sure that you exhume the bodies, go over the bodies, and make peace with those bodies, and hope that after the marriage there won't be any more bodies on either side of the fence. That's what we hope for. We hope for a nice harmonious marriage. We hope for a merging of the families and of the finances, and we hope for an agreement that one of you won't take a trip to San Diego and end up fucking a guy in a lifeguard tower because they had too many White Claws. I know that sounded very specific. It didn't happen to me, but it's happened to one of you motherfuckers. I know that. So with that being said, I think it's 2:20. Let's roll into some calls, gentlemen. Gentlemen of the Powerful Truth Angels Network. I'm really happy to hear what kind of idiots are going to call, because I'm going to have to hang up on a lot of you, because I know you're going to call me and you're going to ask me something really stupid. Don't ask me anything stupid. Don't ask about Maddie, because he's not here yet, but he will be here shortly. And get it together. And who are we talking to?
Two-Tone.
There he is.
Hey, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm so sorry about that, man. Hey, so the thing I wanted to get off my chest today, and I actually wanted to reach out to you guys about this for a bit. So I started listening to Powerful Truth Angels back, when you first started Roasting Heavy, that wonderful session. And I just, it inspired me to start my own podcast. And, I was doing this for a little bit, and I started to get bouts of like depression and anxiety, and just kind of fell out as just having enjoyment in it. And now I'm at a point in my life where I'm doing better, and life's good again, but I'm hitting like a roadblock creatively. So I guess this leads into the question of as an artist, what's stuff that helps you get this creative freedom, and what helps you motivate to keep going with Powerful Truth Angels? Because I know
okay, Spencer, I'm going to cut you off now, and here's what I'm going to say. First of all, you broke protocol and did not ask me from one of the three subjects. I'm still going to answer your question. But I'm just going to tell you that according to my guidelines and bylaws, I should be hanging up on you because you did not honor the protocol. But I'm going to answer your question because this is a good question. I'm going to tell you what it is, okay? Here's what it is. You have to learn, okay, somehow. You have to learn by some method to show up no matter how you feel to something every day. And the way to do that is you have to start building in routines, and you have to start building in rituals and routines that you do every day, no matter how you feel. One of the ones that I do is I meditate in the morning.
Okay.
Every day, no matter what the fuck I feel. I've missed maybe one this year because I was traveling. I meditate every morning for 20 minutes. Because I'm going to tell you something about me. I am a person who, left to my own devices, would love to do nothing more than to lay on the fucking couch and binge watch stuff and order pizza. That's what I really would like to do. That's what feels the best because I have the same tendency. So I have to you got to stay ahead of it. There's a fucking monster chasing you, okay? Every day this fucker's trying to eat you, and you got to stay ahead of him because you're never, ever, ever going to he's never going to stop chasing you. I'm sorry to tell you that. So you have to wax on, wax off, watch The Karate Kid, think about Mr. Miyagi. There's so much wisdom in wax on, wax off. You get up every day, you carry the fucking bucket of water up the hill, and you carry the bucket of water down the hill. It's all fucking Zen, Buddhist, Thai stick. Smoke some Thai stick if you want, but make sure you do that you smoke that same Thai stick every day. Don't smoke Thai stick. Or if you can even get Thai, you probably don't even know what Thai stick is, but if you could get Thai stick, I suggest you smoke it, but not all the time.
I'm in Portland, so I probably could find Thai stick.
He's in Portland. Okay. Listen, if you're in Portland, here's what your routine is. You're going to get up. You're going to meditate a little bit. You're going to join a protest. You're going to follow that protest to your local coffee shop. You're going to have an argument with the barista over her 14 colored hair and whether or not the beans are locally sourced. And you're going to drink that coffee. You're going to get back home. You're going to do your fucking podcast. Even if no one's listening, do your fucking podcast. And you know what? It might not work. But here's the beauty in doing things. Once you do projects, okay, you learn that you can do more projects. You know what the first thing I did? I'll tell you the first two things I did successfully in my life. And I was a major fuck up. One of the first things I did was I had a buddy of mine tell me that he would teach me how to tattoo. And it was such a lifeline at that point in my life. I've said this before. Shout out to Jay Fish, buddy of mine from Kentucky. He was in Venice. He worked at the local tattoo shop. He was like, Two-Tone, I'll teach you how to tattoo. You're a graffiti writer. You look like you could make cool tattoos. I go, really? Are you serious? I could be a tattoo artist? Because at that time, my prospects were plumbing, working at a deli, or working as a construction assistant, right? Manual labor. So I saw this as a lifeline, and he goes, and I go, well, what do I do? And he goes, the first thing you do is take this sketchbook and fill it up. I want you to draw banners, and then I want you to draw skulls, and then I want you to draw hearts. And I did it. I took a sketchbook. I filled up every fucking page with the ugliest banner, skulls, and hearts you've ever seen. And I did it. And I finished the thing. Once I finished that thing, I did another thing. The other thing I did was I made a prank call CD, and I recorded a bunch of prank calls. I made a CD. I designed the cover. I printed up 1,000 of them. I gave them all away. I didn't make any money, but I learned how to make a product, and I learned how to finish a project. And once you do that, then you can do other things, and it's all baby steps. You know how you eat an elephant, Spencer? You know how to eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So yeah, one bite at a time, motherfucker. One fucking bite. It's been great talking to you. I'm so glad you called, and we got to go to the next caller. Next time, Spencer, stay on topic.
Absolutely, sir.
PTA for life.
Absolutely. PTA for life, sir.
Boner Queen?
Yes, I am here. Thank you. So I will start with one of my darkest secrets.
Yes.
My old roommate was making me very pissed off. So I went and I stood on top of her pool table and pissed on it. And she still doesn't know till this.
Okay. hold on. There's a lot to unpack here. First of all, your roommate, where are you from?
San Diego originally, but I'm in Humboldt County now, Arcata.
Oh, okay. You're telling me a lot with these locations. Are you a big stoner?
Maybe. I wonder.
You wonder, yeah, possibly. Are you up there? Are you trimming? Are you currently in Humboldt trimming or growing? Or are you in that part of the business?
I'm a professional, so I didn't know we were going to use my name. So, but my
we can block that out. We'll blur it out. We'll change your name to Sarah. Sarah. No, we will block out your last name, but I'm still going to call you the sex machine. So here's the thing. The first thing is funny. I find funny. How old are you?
24.
Okay, 24. Just so you know, too, there's full anonymity here. We'll cross out your last name. What? And you had how many roommates did you have when you had a pool table in your house?
Actually, just 3 at that time.
And what? I've never been to a person's house under the age of 35 that had a pool table, much less I've never been to a woman's house with a pool table in it. Sorry. I know we live in a new time. I'm sorry if that's sexist. I just haven't. Why did this lady have a pool table?
Wow. I don't know how to describe it. My girlfriend's on FaceTime with me. I don't know if she can describe why.
She's very like Sons of Anarchy, Chrome Hearts.
Fuck yes.
Hoards a lot of antiques, records plastered on the wall.
Okay, so she's kind of like a Steven Tyler meets Mandy Moore meets Ron Perlman kind of lady. I mean, Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
Hey, can you go let O'Neill in? He's downstairs. Sons of Anarchy. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna move on. You peed on her pool table. And how did she not know? She didn't smell the piss?
She's an alcoholic.
Yeah, she liked Taylor Jerry's a lot. So, just in a dark garage it was in at the time.
Oh, I wish. What is a pool table like? Was she a professional pool player?
No.
What was it? Why do you have a pool table? It's fucking insane. I can't imagine. It's like the last thing of all the things I would ever buy in my life would be a fucking pool table. Anyway, so
societal pool.
Society, right? She liked to party, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
She liked to get the Jack Daniels and the boots, and I don't even know. Let's just say she was steampunk. That'll make it easier for me to digest this. So when you peed on her pool table, she still never found out. No one smelled the piss. O'Neill, there he is. I'm taking calls right now. Come on in. We're in the middle of a call segment. My man O'Neill just pulled up. Just so you know.
Hello.
So yeah. So she never found out that you pissed on the pool table. Do you think she'll know now? Will she be able to link the voice in the table with the piss?
I don't think she's that smart to be listening to, guys.
Oh my God, you guys hate this girl.
She's not into food podcasts, more of microwaving taquitos, so.
Jesus Christ. Number one, this is not a food podcast. Okay, just so we're very clear. Number two, there's nothing wrong with microwaving taquitos. All right, I'm just going to put that out there. O'Neill, what do you think?
I have a problem with microwaving taquitos.
Okay, O'Neill's got a bit of a culinary taste level that I hope to aspire to one day. Okay, Colleen, that's a horrible thing that you did. I don't think you have any guilt, but I'm glad you got it off your chest. And I hope that you can go through the rest of your life. And look, we can see her. I saw you. There she is.
Sure.
No, now we can see you.
There's my girlfriend. She DMs you memes all the time.
You do? Have I reposted?
No. You can follow me at
I mean, we're gonna delete that. We can't have you plugging your IG on this illustrious show. But listen, thank you for coming on. And I hope that one day you'll make amends to this person and get them a new felt for their pool table, because it's horrifying what you did. It's a very, very aggressive move.
Yeah, maybe. I've done worse, but I was very selective on what I was going to share. So
next time, come with the darker secrets.
Okay, thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure. Okay, look at this. I'm on Jason's fucking, what is this? Alien?
Razor.
It's an alien tech snake.
They invented the LED
Oh god, it's a Tech Snake 490 fucking Matrix kit with the refractorated back dose MS dose system ones and O's .9 64 Alienware. Okay. Anyways, it's no secret that podcasting advertising has taken the marketing landscape by storm. As a host, as O'Neill's about to find out, my audience will trust me to put great content and to curate sponsors with products or services they'll actually find useful. This is true because most of the products on my podcast, actually all of them, I actually use all the fucking products. I have all these fucking sponsors, and they probably don't like me cussing so much, but I use them all. I had the cereal. I mean, I'm actually used every product that's been on here. So anyways, yeah, it's great to curate products that are useful, and that's why the host read ad works so well, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm reading the ad. You're gonna have to do this soon. But the process of booking these ads isn't always simple. Cluttered email chains, contracts, screening products. It's a huge time suck that gets in the way of picking the brands that are right for us, but it doesn't have to be. That's where Gumball comes in. Gumball makes things so easy. Advertisers book spots on shows like ours. Scripts come directly to us, and all we have to do is record. This is so fucking meta. It's insane. I'm reading an ad about reading ads on the show that I read ads on, but the ads are already read if you read the ads. The easy-to-use, very intuitive interface literally feels like money for the show and is magically appearing at our fingertips via Jason's disgusting laptop that I just accidentally spit on the keyboards. So you're gonna have to burn this whole thing, thankfully, because we don't need this in the world. This kind of fucking, what is this, blood clot type of action?
Pussy war action.
Pussy
war, blood clot.
Bottom line, Gumball makes things easier for everyone. It helps us monetize, learn about advertisers before saying yes, and lets us work with brands that fit our audience using powerful demographic filters. It lets us know when we're getting paid, which is very important, and makes it easy to keep track of ad schedule. It's Ad Sales 2.0, baby. It's Ad Sales 2.0, baby. It's Ad Sales 2.0, baby. Try one.
It's Ad Sales 2.0, baby.
It's Ad Sales 2.0, baby. All right. We're on Gumball, so guess what? You can buy ads on our show by going to gumball.fm and searching for Powerful Truth Angels. If you're an advertiser or a podcaster, have a look at gumball.fm. Browse shows, discover new advertising options, or list your own podcast today. It's Ad Sales 2.0, baby. Baby. O'Neill, what's up, man?
What's up, my bro?
Good to see you.
Good to see
Thank
you
you for
too,
pulling
man.
up.
Of course, man. Of course.
O'Neill just came by. Who is he? Nobody fucking knows, but he's about to start his own podcast. Right? Aren't you? What's going on with that?
3 black guys on the couch.
Yeah.
It's 2 black guys on the couch, and the third person, doesn't have to be black, but when they sit on the couch, they're honorary black. And so we take you into the experiences. The best example I can give you is if Anna Wintour is sitting on the couch. Then she's gonna be pulled into the black experience.
I would love that to be. So. I would love that to be your show with Anna Wintour.
Yeah.
Because it could, just the picture alone would be amazing.
That alone.
Anna Wintour probably hasn't sat on a couch in fucking 30 years. It hasn't been like some sort of fucking magical.
She probably has hands that hold her butt up and
Yeah. She probably has black men that carry her.
They carry her
behind the scenes.
Yeah. I heard a story about Prince. Like that happened with him at one of the SBE clubs. The smaller one that they have performances at. But my friend said he was watching him on the couch and his bodyguards, and he snapped his fingers, and the big bodyguard came over, picked Prince up, and moved him to the other side of the couch.
Get the fuck out of here!
I swear to God.
Damn. Can you imagine being because when Prince died, they found out that he too was fucking with Rohypnol and all that shit, right?
Oh, for real?
I think so. He was on right. Can you? I mean, not to besmirch the man's name because he's a fucking genius, but I think he was. And imagine if you're just.
Hold up, stop for a second. Did you say besmirch?
Besmirch. Yeah.
I like that, man.
Yeah, you don't want to besmirch
his name.
Yeah, you don't want to besmirch that legendary person's name. But imagine being high. Did you ever fuck around drugs? Did you ever get high?
Yeah. Yes.
One time.
Yeah, one time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. I mean, well, imagine being super high. And being his body weight, which was 19 pounds probably, a feather, and being so high, you're just like, Darius, move me. And he's just being lifted and moved to another cushion on the couch.
That's some gangster shit, though.
That is some gangster shit.
That's on a whole other level. I want to be moved.
Yeah. But you're a dense. What do you weigh? You're
192, 193.
Yeah, but a very heavy 193.
Well, then I'd have to get a bigger, stronger bodyguard.
Yeah, big guys. Yeah. Do you know what's funny? Prince. I've told the story on the pod before, but it bears repeating. Prince opened up a club when I was a kid called Glam Slam.
Okay.
Over here off of Temple, near this old yard by downtown, and at Prince, in the opening night of his club, I was a kid. I was probably a teenager. He had the opening night at Glam Slam. It was the first time I had seen doormen with earpieces. I'd never seen that before. It was right, and I at the time was a kind of a wild young person, and I went to the club and I took a hit of this window pane acid from San Francisco. And
window pane acid.
Yeah.
Now, why was it named window pane?
It's window
acid?
pane because it's cut into 4 pieces.
Okay.
And you're supposed to break off. And I don't remember if I took 1 or if I took 4, but I will tell you that it was some of the strongest acid I've ever taken. I also took mescaline that day. No. Let me Vicodin laced with fucking fentanyl gets everybody, man. He took fake Vicodin. Fucking fentanyl, man. Fuck. Gets everybody. So I went to this club. Before the club, me and my friend Crush, we drank Southern Comfort. Down the bottle of that. Never drank it after, never drank it before. Just drank it that one time. Down the bottle, nothing happened. It was like a delayed fuse. Then I took mescaline in the club. That someone gave me a chip of mescaline. And then I took some acid. Because at the time I was a little...
Damn, you were stacking.
I was crazy.
stacking drugs.
I was stacking drugs. Yeah, like I just was pushing the boundaries. And within that, when I was in the club, to make a long story short, because of all that shit hitting at exactly the same time, I had a complete psychic break from reality. And I thought that my friend Crush, I thought that because I was very worried about my life at the time. So my answer was to do more drugs. And I thought that my friend Crush was secretly a millionaire and he had a place in New York and that I was going to be fine because he was going to take care of me and give me a job. Yeah. And I was so happy about it. And then in that delusion, I thought that he also owned the club we were in.
Yeah.
And what I decided to do is I go, oh, we own this club? And in my mind, he's like, yeah, we own the club. And I go, cool, check this out. I take a glass and I throw it at the mirror behind the bar. There's no fucking reason. Like, just I'm completely gone.
Yeah.
And the mirror shatters and the bartender points at me and these doormen come out of nowhere. Just yoked, all black earpieces, and just beat the shit out of me. And I can't feel a thing. Like I'm bulletproof.
Fucked up,
yeah, they're hitting me. My pants fall down. I'm just like, and they just throw me out the door. And it's like 6 a.m. and it's like I'm right next to downtown LA, and I'm still high as a kite. And I'm looking at the skyscrapers, and I'm like, and I actually lost my mind that day.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at the skyscrapers and being like, we own these buildings too. And I just was like, and then I was wandering around the parking lot. And this woman was trying to get me to go in her van, and I'm walking towards her, and it's like, she's like, come on with me. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm walking towards her in this haze, and then my friend Crush pulls up in his little tiny gold MR2. You know, a little gold MR2. You know what that car is? A little tiny.
Mazda, right?
Yeah, little fucking tiny 2-seater. And he pulls up and he screeches and he goes, "Hey, get in!" And then there's a woman kind of trying to siren me into her van, and then Crush. And he's like, "Get in the car." And I'm like, and he goes, "Get in." And I go, "Okay, I'll get in." And I go to walk towards his car, and he just takes off. So then I'm stranded in downtown LA. I mean, this is before I even had a cell phone. I'm stranded in downtown LA. I probably have enough to make a call to my apartment. Okay. I call my apartment. I call my roommate Tuma at the time. And I'm like, "Hey, I'm down here. I don't even know where the fuck I am." He's like, "I can't help you, man." And then I'm just there, high, and I'm just sitting there in the middle of the fucking street, not on the curb, and this gardening truck pulls up. It's a true story.
Guardian security.
No. A gardener.
Okay.
A gardener truck pulls up.
Right.
He just stops right there, and I go, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Are you going to Venice?" He goes, "Yeah." and I go, "Where are you going?" He goes, "I'm going to the Circle. I lived a block away from the Circle." And I go, "Can I get a ride?" He goes, "Yeah."
Just by coincidence.
Just randomly.
Yeah.
And I jump in the dude's car. Don't say a fucking word to him.
Yeah.
Just sit. And I get out of the car and I thank you. And I just go to my house and I'm still, and then I think I went and we jumped in the ocean real quick to try to shake it off.
So okay, there's a lot to take in. There's a lot to unpack. Let's back up a little bit. Your boy, he pulled up and he said, "Get in." And then when he tried to get in, he was like, "No, fuck that, I'm going."
Get in. And by the time I started walking towards him, he bounced.
So did you ever find out why he changed his mind?
I think we were all so fucked up. It's like not even. I don't think he would even remember. If I were to tell the story, if he could, he would probably tell it differently than how I told it, because I'm sure it was different.
Is that the most fucked up you've ever been?
One of a couple. No, I don't know if that was.
Okay.
I do remember him and I having an argument for about an hour over this vest he had on.
Yeah.
And he goes, "What if I take off the vest?" And I go, "Well, take it off." He goes, "Well, does someone take it?" I go, "Well, keep it on." He goes, "Well, it's too hot. Let me take it off." Like we had a conversation going like that. I was, it was a different time, man.
See, man, it's funny because I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and I was like, I don't understand why people do cocaine and do this and do that, because the best high I've ever had is just off weed.
Oh, yeah.
The most fucked up high I've ever
Absolutely.
had is off edibles.
Absolutely.
I've never taken edibles before, and this girl I was dating at the time, her friend was like, yo, try these weed cookies out. And I was like, yo, bet. They were chocolate chip cookies. I was like, yeah, I fuck with them. So I ate like 3 or 4 of them, right?
Yeah.
So we go to this weird summer solstice party in Silver Lake. So I was like, all right, so we go to this party. They got like, Christmas lights. This is my first time seeing Christmas lights outside. I'm like, oh shit, they got Christmas lights outside, and trees and shit. This is some white people shit.
But you'd never seen Christmas lights?
Outside. Not until I moved here.
Where did you move from?
Detroit.
Oh, okay.
So, black people don't put Christmas lights outside.
Right.
Detroit, we put them up for Christmas.
Right.
So I get the Christmas lights outside in July, and I'm like, oh shit, it's a summer solstice party. I'm like, this is dope. So we eating, there's a big table in the back, there's food, everyone's talking, there's people playing acoustic guitar, singing, folk music shit. And I'm like, oh, this is wild shit. So I get up to use the bathroom, and there's this big plate of brownies sitting there. And I fuck with brownies, I love brownies. I'm like, oh shit, brownies. So I must have eaten like 4 or 5, because I'm a greedy person.
Yes.
So no one had touched the brownies prior to that.
Oh shit.
So I come back and I sit down after eating about 4 or 5. I'm just chilling. I'm good. So this girl runs out. She's like, oh my God, who the fuck ate those brownies? And I'm like, me, I ate those brownies. What's up? And so she runs over to me. She's like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? And then her roommate comes up. She's like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
You're like, I love brownies.
Like yeah, I love brownies. Then the girl who initially gave me the weed cookies earlier was like, oh my God, O'Neal, what the fuck? And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? I'm good. And she's like, those are pot brownies.
Oh shit.
Mind you, I'd never taken any edibles in my life before.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, okay, I'm Jamaican. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm from Jamaica. I can handle that. I don't know nothing still. I'm good.
Yeah.
So I'm good. So she's like, you ate 5 chocolate chip cookies and 4 brownies, O'Neal. And I was like, okay, I'm good. Hour passed by. People keep on walking by and keep asking me if I'm good. I'm like, yo, why the fuck are y'all asking me? I'm cool. So I get in the car with this girl I'm dating. I get on the freeway. I'm on a 101. I'm driving with her. I'm driving.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I don't know why they tripping. Talking about, why am I high? You know what I'm saying? I'm good. All of a sudden,
You're in Tron.
I am in Tron. I hear this loud music like boing. I just start hearing music. I'm not bullshitting. And I just see this kaleidoscope explode. I'm not lying. Of colors in front of me. And I'm like, oh shit. And I said to her, I think you're gonna have to help me guide to the side of the road, because I was like, I'm seeing nothing but colors. So she helps me pull over to the side of the road, and she drives. And I get back to the crib, and I'm not bullshitting. All I saw was just colors and rainbows. And if you were to say my name, all I would hear is O'Neal. And I saw like 5. There was 5 of her in the room.
Yeah.
I was high for almost 3 days, bro.
Yes.
For 3, I thought I was gonna die.
Oh my God.
All I would see was colors, multiple versions of you, and just echoes. And I was like, this is it. Worst high I've ever had. It took like 3 days for me to completely come down.
Holy shit.
And I was like, yo, if weed can do this to you, what the
Well, no, that's the thing. I've been telling people this. Weed is by far maybe one of the strongest drugs over everything.
Yeah.
Nothing fucks you up. Like I have a very similar experience. Nothing will fuck you up like eating weed. Nothing. Because there's no ceiling on the weed, because if you do too much heroin, you're gonna pass out or die.
Yeah.
Right? You're just gonna fall asleep. Like coke, you're just gonna end up like you're not even gonna feel anything. You're just like this.
Yeah.
But the weed, if you eat that, I'm telling people, weed is the strongest shit in the world. I had the same shit. I had a date with this girl.
Yeah.
First date. Came here. This was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because I don't really fuck around with anything anymore. But came here. We had some cookies. Same shit. She got them from a friend. Blah blah blah. You know. It was like, okay, cool. I'm good. Eat the cookies. We go down this wine bar. Walk to the wine bar.
Yeah.
Hanging out at the wine bar, talking, goofing off. And then I'm sitting there and I'm looking at. It's a wine bar down the street. And I'm looking at this place called Wacko Soap Plant. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like looking across the street. And I'm just I'm looking and I'm seeing the colors of the neon. And I'm like, oh no. I was like, wait a minute, I'm really schmacked. Like I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
And I was like, and this girl was petite, tiny, and I go, okay. And I just start doing damage control and going, okay, I gotta get the fuck out of here before something weird happens, and I gotta get her out of here.
Yeah.
And I was so high I couldn't even fathom calling an Uber. I was like, we have to walk home. And I grab her and she's like, what's going on? I go, listen, we have to get out of here. She's like, what are you talking about? Well, something's happening to me right now. And it's gonna happen to you because I'm double your size and you're gonna be fucked in a minute. And she's like, and so I grab her, we have to go. And we just walk. This is like This is like down on hill. This is like a 15, 20 minute walk. It seemed like it took 3 hours because and it's starting to kick in. So she's like just looking at stuff and going towards things. Like, let's go. I'm like, no. We have to get home.
Yeah,
we have to get away from, we cannot be in the street because I can barely walk. And I just take this long ass walk. The whole world's tilting. Everything's fucking going backwards. And then we finally get to the house. And by then she's completely fucking toasted too. And I go, listen, this is our first date. I go, listen, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to stay in this living room. You're going to go as far away from me as possible into that bedroom. I don't know you. And I want to make sure that like you're completely safe. And because I didn't want anything, I was so high that I didn't want to like, I didn't want to be near this person. I don't want there to be any kind of nothing. I go, just go there and sleep because you can't drive.
Yeah.
And I go, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to fall asleep. And she's like, deal. And she goes in the room and I woke up to her leaving, I just hear her heels and I go, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
We dated again since, but that was a very, weed is powerful.
Weed is powerful. That's why I'm like,
and you're Jamaican.
And I'm Jamaican. And if I'm saying it, take it from me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why people do other drugs, I don't get. I have done acid a few times and I got to say, acid is just great.
It's hard to come off of the acid though. It hurts. Like the next day, whenever I did acid, the next day would be so painful. Really? And I would just be so just like hurt, like the back of your neck, just like I'd feel like I was covered in dirt. It was just.
I've never had that experience. I've never. Well, I mean, I'm around acid experts, so they probably they probably give the right doses or whatnot. Right. But man, I'll laugh on it. It's
probably give you really clean acid.
A clean acid. There's clean. So there's dirty acid.
Yeah. You got acid experts. I mean, shit. Yeah, they're probably giving you like, was it drops?
She gave me a little thing to put on my tongue, looked like a piece of little plastic shit. I don't know, And then the high is just perfect. Weed and acid, perfect drugs. Yeah. I don't know why anybody would do anything else. I'm like, you ain't got to worry about dropping dead and dying overdosing. I know. I've done all the else, and there's nothing. It ain't great. Mushrooms is a perfect drug. Mushrooms too. Mushrooms too.
The last time I was doing mushrooms, I felt like I would feel like I would have these feelings like I'm in my most, this is the perfect version of me right now. Like I'm fully realized, like I'm a Superman right now. And I would feel.
Pure drugs, man. Yeah. Pure drugs. The other stuff, man, you don't need it. You're liable to die or make a fool out of yourself. I've been drunk to the point where, I made a fool out of myself on a few occasions, but nah, man, I think weed, acid, mushrooms, you're good. You're
just
good
don't
for
eat
life.
it. Have you eaten weed since?
Yeah. Well, I take edibles, but I take the little candy, water.
You were high for 3 days.
Huh?
You were high for 3 days.
I was high for 3 days. Bro, 3 days.
3 days.
3 days is just nothing but colors and echoing voices.
And you hallucinated for 3 days.
Yeah. It was
That's a
wild.
lot. You ate a lot of weed, man.
Yeah.
To do that twice, to eat a bunch of cookies and eat a bunch of brownies is...
The shit was insane.
Because they don't know how to... I mean, I think now they're figuring out how to dose it properly. But before it's like they get a pound of weed, make some butter, make some shit.
And they just put the shit in there and be like, eat this shit. And then you eat it at your own risk. It's funny because the high is so good now. When I go to the store and I get little droplets and I take them, I sleep like a baby.
You do.
I sleep like a baby. And I'm scared that I'm getting addicted to it. Like I'm like, I gotta take a little edible before I sleep. But man, I feel like I'm floating on the sheets.
Do you smoke weed? Do you smoke weed too?
No, I won't, because I don't like how it feels. My throat. I don't like that. I'll eat it all day, but I won't smoke it. Yeah.
You're not one of those weed smoking jiu-jitsu guys who like smokes weed and then rolls and it's like.
No, I've never done that. I should take an edible and roll though.
You probably would unlock some shit, right? Yeah. You could finally take down some people.
Yeah, I'm saying you be in your zone.
That's
let's do that, bro.
I can't.
You can't take edibles?
No, I can't do. I don't do shit.
Oh, first.
Because I'm an alcoholic.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
I just say that. I have a very addicted personality.
Yeah.
So once I start doing shit, you
won't stop.
No. Like I went to a wedding and I was with my girlfriend and her friend. They were like, I was just this weekend. Yeah. And they come with us. We're going to this place. We're going to this shack on the grounds. I go to this shack and enter this room and it's like, there's like 8 people in here doing coke. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna do it, but I don't want to be near it. I was like, I gotta go. I just bolt. I didn't even say that. I was like, I'm out because I just don't want to even have the interaction.
I feel you.
Look, drugs are wonderful. I love drugs, but I can't. It's the same reason I don't have a box of Cheez-Its in the house.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I can't be trusted.
It's funny because I'm so anti everything to my detriment. Yeah, I'm like, I ain't doing that shit. Everybody going left, I'm going right. Oh, y'all taking a shower? I'm not taking a shower. I'm always taking anti. I'm taking dirt. Yeah. I'm always anti everything. So I think that's what stops me from becoming addicted to things.
Right.
But once I got introduced to certain drugs, I was like, hold up, maybe I was a little hasty. This mushroom shit, I can fuck with this. And the acid thing, I'm like, I can fuck with this.
Yeah.
Then the edibles thing, I was like, I can really fuck with this.
You got to investigate. You got to investigate everything. You got to try everything once, you know?
At least once.
At least once. Okay, good. We're good. Hold on. I'm just checking time real quick. So you're from... Okay, so I got to be out at like 3:30ish. Okay. Edit that out, please. That little thing. So did you grow up, did you spend time in Jamaica?
Yeah, I came to the United States when I was like 8, 9 years old. I moved to Detroit.
Oh, wow.
That was like, mad culture shock for me because I moved straight from Detroit to the projects.
Oh my God.
I mean, straight from Jamaica to the projects. And, I had a strong accent and everything. So all the black kids thought I was from Africa.
Right.
And I'm trying to explain to them like, no, I'm from Jamaica. And they're like, yo, you got giraffes? And, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Billy Ocean. Famous Caribbean singer, but people call me Billy Ocean.
Frank Ocean's uncle.
Frank Ocean's uncle.
Right.
Yeah. And they'd sing Caribbean Queen all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So it was culture shock for me.
Get out of my dreams, get in my car. Is that Billy Ocean?
Yeah, get out of my dreams.
Get in the backseat, baby.
Yeah.
Get into my...
Billy
that's
Ocean
real
was the
80s.
shit, man.
Yeah, Billy Ocean was very fly.
Shit. So he was fly as fuck.
I mean, that's a different time, the 80s and R&B and just the way people got down. Like, it's kind of come back to that kind of vibe.
100%.
But remember, like, it was normal for just dudes to be to be very flashy and flamboyant.
Yeah, wide open V-neck shirts, gold chains hanging out.
Chains,
yeah,
yep.
It's funny because we were talking about crop tops. This jiu-jitsu guy just won a big tournament.
Yeah,
Tim Spriggs, he won a big tournament, and he was talking about wearing crop tops, and he was like, men should be, secure in their sexuality and whatnot, and everybody was clowning me because they know I wear crop tops, and I was like, but why is that weird now? Because in the 80s, all men wore crop tops.
That was normal.
It was normal. So
gang members wore crop tops.
Yeah.
Gang members had shirts up to here and fish net.
Yeah.
Net shirts with their nipples hanging out.
So why is it feminine now in 2021? What's changed?
Especially now. It's like, because I seen you in the crop top, but there's no part of me that looks at you and it doesn't look like a stretch by any means. It's completely organic.
Yeah.
There are some people who I should not wear a crop top, but there's some people who shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll never wear, I don't think no matter how fit I ever will, I'll never be able to pull off a crop top. It's just certain people.
What if you wanted to wear that you haven't worn yet, but you really long to wear it? I don't want you to give me a politically correct answer. I want you to give me the deep, dark answer.
And I'm going to follow up with another question for you.
Okay.
What if I wanted to wear that I've never... I don't think there's anything that I've stopped myself from wearing that I wanted to wear. Right. I think that there are clothes that I if I've been super overweight before, and there are clothes that I just couldn't fucking pull off.
Yeah.
So I dress a certain way.
Yeah.
And you just don't look good. Like, you just don't look good in shit if you're overweight. It's just I'm sorry, and for all these fat people out there, it doesn't sit right. Most clothes are not built. They're built for a certain body size, and there are clothes that do look better, but having been fat and having been not as fat, I'll tell you, it just lays better. Like, you look at Zach, right? You look at Zach at the gym. Yeah. His clothes just lay on him a certain way because there's no fat on him.
Yeah. I respectfully disagree with you.
Okay,
because
sure.
Because I've always, this is gonna sound really weird, I'm not bullshitting you, but I've always thought clothes look better on big people. I don't know if I don't know if it's because big people have the pressure to layer and make it look good and really take the time to curate what they wear.
You're fucking right.
Right?
You know what? You're right, because Maddie, when he wears his clothes, it looks good on him because he's not trying. Because when I'm trying to look like I'm less fat than I am if I'm wearing certain clothes. When I was fatter, I was like, I'm not trying to. Maddie just says like, this is what the fuck I am.
And he
I'm
looks
this
fly,
shape,
right? And
he looks good.
Yeah.
So you know what? Let me recant that whole thing I just said, and say that fat people, let's dress and let's wear what the fuck we want to wear, and we look better than.
I've always felt
people.
like that, man. Like, where Zach, he's lean and muscular. Shout out to Zach, I love
Shout
him.
Out to Zach.
He's lean and muscular and everything, but I've never looked at him, and Zach, I love you. I've never looked at him and be like, man, Zach fresh as hell.
No, I look at. I'll be rolling. This is like, and I'm like looking, and I'm just and I look at him in the thing. I'm like, oh, I like the way I like the lines that he's got. I like the way it sits on him.
Yeah.
Because I mean, part of my job is I look at clothing all the time. Look at people wearing it. But let me ask you this. Okay. This is a good question because do you think that there's ever going to be a time when you're going to start wearing a dress?
Yeah, I've worn them already.
You have?
Oh man, great, hey, bro, great question.
He's already done it.
Let's talk about this.
Okay,
so Austin and I were in New York for Fashion Week. We're doing some work out there, and we're at dinner one night, and they had posted a picture of Jordan Clarkson in a Tom Brown suit. You know,
Jordan, who's that?
He played for the he's Sixth Man of the Year.
Okay.
For the Hornets, I think.
I don't watch.
Well, I could be dead. But he used to play for the Lakers. He had cornrows and light skin. Young cat. So he had the Tom Brown.
Yeah,
suit.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. And earlier that day they posted Russell Westbrook too out there for Fashion Week.
And he's really out there.
And
with
he was
shit.
out. He had the V-neck sweater with the skirt, which listen, I've worn some wild man skirts before.
Yeah, you have. You've done it. You've been
Yeah.
out. Okay.
I had a Fear of God skirt when they came out, all that stuff. Like, I love man skirts. I love them. I've gotten roasted for them. And so Austin and I were having a conversation about that, and he was like, "I just don't think it's yes."
Yeah.
See, I think I could be wrong, but I think the V-neck cardigan and the skirt didn't go well together. Whereas Jordan Clarkson's outfit with the suit,
I think the
tie,
V-neck. Look, if you just show the V-neck, that right there, I like what he did. I like the V-neck and I like the necklace.
Yes, I like that.
I like the no t-shirt. As you can see, I got no shirt under this, and I got.
That's fly.
It's
That's fly.
like we're just I'm just being.
But then,
completely fly.
When you scroll down, then you're like, oh.
But then he's got the witch boots and the dress.
Witch boots.
He got the long.
Like,
look how long the witch boots are.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling that, man. The Jordan's outfit was dope, and I think it's because it had some masculinity to it with the tie, the jacket, because that's Tom Brown too, I believe. The blazer and whatnot. But yeah, I love man skirts. I think they're dope.
So can you go to Jamaica wearing a skirt?
I probably have some issues.
You have some issues.
Yeah, Jamaicans are like,
they're very
extremely homophobic.
Really
extremely
homophobic.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about like a lot of reggae music is that people are like singing this shit about all, and they don't know what the fuck they're saying.
Oh my, they don't know.
They're saying some wild shit.
Yeah.
People are like, I don't even know if I can say it but they're they be saying they have whole songs about like
whole
killing gay people
words
and shit.
words. They have two words, and obviously I'm far from homophobic. I'm just saying what Jamaican people say. But they have two words they refer to as Fosse or Batiman, or means butt man. And when I was young and ignorant and didn't know better, when I was in college, I used to go around calling, some guys that didn't understand Patois. I'd be like, well, I'm Batiman. Yeah, Batiman, that's how Batiman. They'd be like, hey, what's up, O'Neal? Yeah, Batiman. And then my friend from Jamaica was like, yo, you can stop saying that because people are starting to
They're starting to catch on.
What that word means. But yeah, Jamaicans are extremely homophobic.
Yeah.
So I probably have some issues. But I mean, there's a little movement going on there. Obviously, there's a shit ton of gay and lesbian artists in Jamaica that are coming out and performing. Some big ones. So I mean, they have to change with the times. You don't have a choice.
Things are changing, man.
Things are changing, man.
I read that we're going down a weird path, but I heard a whole thing about why Jamaicans are so homophobic, and it's like because of old buck breaking practices. You know about this shit? Like
enslaved from slavery.
Yeah.
I've heard some things about
some shit I heard about, and I'm like, it's deep. It's like deeply rooted shit.
Yeah.
Like all this shit comes from somewhere. Like,
all of it comes from somewhere. Some psychological damage and history and family and whatnot. But yeah.
So Jamaica. The thing I've known some Jamaican people in the States, and I'm gonna say this: the most Jamaican men I met. Not many Jamaican women, but most of Jamaican men I've met have a lot of hustle. Like a lot of they are hustle. Like I don't know what it is. Am I wrong?
Okay, so I'm not gonna say that's not true.
Yeah.
I'm Jamaican.
Yeah.
And the first time I ever heard about the Jamaicans having 15 jobs was when I was watching In Living Color.
See, I'm not talking about that. Yeah, I know what you. Yeah, but when they said that, I didn't know what that meant because
I didn't even know what that meant.
The Jamaicans in Venice were like the ones in Venice were either down at the beach smoking weed, selling these little coconut bongs, or they were like there was like some weird Jamaican gangs in Venice, and they were doing some other shit.
There was Jamaican gangs in Venice.
Yeah. There was I think some of the local Jamaicans. Yeah. Once in a while, you'd hear a story where like some of the local gang members would like step on their toes, and then these fools would just pull up on some wild shit. Yeah. They would pull up like with fucking machine, like the whole shit with the old Beamer and the machine guns. Was it? I don't know what that model Beamer is. People are starting to run it again, but I just heard stories about them pulling up on fools and just being like with such a strong force that they're like, even the local gangs were like, all right, we're gonna let this lie right now. Yeah, because they're on some wild shit.
Jamaican gangs are different. I'm in Michigan. My father was. I wonder if I can say this. In Michigan, my father was good friends with. This is gonna sound great. People will laugh, but the Jamaican Posse really exists. Yeah, that gang really exists. From that Steven Seagal movie, they exist.
Yeah.
And they're all BMW driving. But Jamaicans have their affinity for BMW. I'm a big BMW outside. They love BMWs. And I remember coming home from work, at nighttime, and on our street, it would be nothing but BMWs up and down the street. And I go inside and they're playing this game called Ludi or something like that, Ludi. And my father would hold a pot that all the money would be there, and it'd be nothing but Jamaican gangsters in there. And
Oh shit.
Jamaicans are intimidating already with the strong accent when they curse and say things, but to see them and then listen to them talk and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm from Jamaica, but it's still the country ones too, right?
Yeah.
The raspy voice, and it's extremely intimidating. So I can see how if a gang of them pull up with some guns and then they start talking and then mix the accent with the guns and I'll cut you, I'll cut you up, and you're like, oh shit, he might cut me up for real.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah, some other shit.
It's some other shit. Some other shit. So.
I always say don't fuck with people from the country, right? You go to like any place that has country people, you go to Hawaii, you go to Jamaica, like they got different
That's
bones,
true.
man. They're different.
True.
They got different
That's true.
structure, right? They play a different game. Like there's city people think they're tough. You're not tough till you fuck with some fucking country people.
Yeah.
People that are in the country are just like, they're just different animals, man.
Yeah, I agree. Because I don't know if it's because they're getting water from the well and running around barefoot and shit, but they
just eating raw corn. And
they're up for this. They're with the shits. I'm like, I ain't with the shits, bro. I'm about to get a latte.
Yeah,
I'm
I need a
trying to fight you,
smoothie.
bro.
Yeah, I'm very soft.
That's funny.
I have like a 3-minute burst in the gym where I'm like aggressive, and the rest of the day I'm just like typing on a fucking computer.
Yeah, I'm good.
Looking at my dog and shit, like blah blah blah. You know.
Let me ask you a question. Speaking of which, a 3-minute burst in the gym. So, what do you love about jiu-jitsu?
What do I love about
Yeah,
it?
what do you love about it? What do you love about it?
Oh my god.
Because I was just talking to I don't know if it was Isaac or Zach, and I was talking about how you're always there, you're training and religiously, and you get nice rolls in. You're so committed to it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, Two-Tone is one of the most committed students there. What do you love about it? How did you discover it?
Oh,
I've always wanted to ask you that.
Oh man. What do I love about it? What's crazy? The first thing is I put off doing it forever.
Yeah.
I've been around jiu-jitsu and two things I've been around my whole life: jiu-jitsu and surfing.
Yeah.
I haven't done either.
Yeah.
I boogie boarded as a kid. I didn't ever surfed because I was in graffiti. And the jiu-jitsu I didn't even do it because in the 90s it was like the guys I knew who did jiu-jitsu were basically beating the shit out, like coming out of the class with broken noses and shit. And I was like, fuck, I don't know if I want to do that. I was like, I did some Muay Thai, I did some boxing, I did some jiu-jitsu. It's like, and I also didn't want to I was like, I don't want to fucking wrestle guys, and I don't want to wear that. I don't want to wear the pajamas. I had a different mindset, you know?
Yeah.
That being said, I just got into it a couple, maybe 2 years ago, and I instantly was like, you're in it instantly.
Yeah.
You have to box for years before you can spar effectively without taking someone's head off or vice versa.
Yeah.
In Muay Thai, it's dangerous to spar. You fuck someone. Jiu-Jitsu, you can get in there right at day one. If you want to wrestle, you can wrestle.
That's true.
Right? That was great. Two, you can without much skill, you can kind of adjust your, I learned, I had the first 5-6 months of being a spaz, and and then once I learned to temper it, now I do it differently for every guy.
Yeah.
And you can have a different fight with every person. And, I'm not gonna roll with Tony the same way I roll with fucking Sebastian.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm able to really to temper, to level up or down, but that's not why I love it. The why I love it is it's so, there's so much to know. Other fight sports is very simple. There's a couple moves, there's a couple hits, there's a couple kicks, and that's it, right? Beyond karate and shit, where you could probably study your whole life, or kung fu or some shit. But jiu-jitsu is there's so much to know, there's so much to learn, and it's so engaging. You're doing things and you're working on a level that no workout's gonna give you, right?
Yeah.
There is no wrestling with another person, pushing against, pulling, grabbing, nothing feels like that engagement. And you get to fight. I get to fight every day.
Yeah.
I love to fight. I love doing that. I love being okay, I'm gonna fight today. And I'm gonna give everything I got right now. And I'm just so, and it's and it's also so interesting because there's just, it's such a small incremental move. I don't know. It's the most interesting thing I've ever done, and the most addictive thing I think I've done in sports wise, because there's an end goal. I learn this thing, and we have a role, and there's a fucking a solution every time.
Yeah.
I either get choked or choke someone, and I don't know. And it's just, I don't know. It's really interesting to me, and it's really complicated. And it's there's so many different layers and levels, and And there's so much to learn, and it's fucking humbling. Like right out the gate, I was getting fucking thrown around by like a teenage kid who like outweighed me by 30 pounds at the time. Yeah. But he was just smothering me, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like I'm not. It's really humbling for me, and I need that. I need to be humble. I need to be like, and I also love that there's a defined fucking system. Yeah. Like, here's this belt and here's this belt. And these guys have put in this much, these guys are this much better than you. And this guy is a little bit worse than you, but he might fuck you up. And this guy you're never going to fuck with. Like, I love that there's just like a straight hierarchy, you know?
I think that's the reason why I asked you, because most of the people, you know, when I talk to them and I ask them why they're doing it, they all give me the same answer. And I don't think that's a coincidental. Jiu-jitsu, you hear people talk about it, and it seems so niche when you talk about it. When I talk about it to people who don't know about it, they're like, oh, what the fuck is that? It's so niche, but I'm like, it shouldn't be. It's one of the most hidden niche things that should be worldwide and mainstream for all those reasons that you said. It's humbling. It's like human chess. You're never the biggest fish in the pond. You're always figuring things out. It's ever evolving. And it gets all your negative energy completely out. So by the time you're out of there, you're as meek as a lamb. And you know, the whole dress thing, right? It's funny because I crack jokes with them all the time. They're like, oh, Neil wears man dresses and everything. And I'm like, and I was telling Isaac that today. I was like, yeah, I love wearing man dresses. But I was like, the weird thing is jiu-jitsu has enabled me to wear man dresses. Because if I couldn't grapple and fight and do all that stuff, I would probably second guess myself, like, I'm not wearing this because people might judge me. But because I have confidence, I'm like, okay, I'm wearing a dress. If you got that much of a problem with me, we can square up. What do you want to do? You know what I'm saying?
Right, but that's your last reason. You're not even
definitely the last.
You're
resort.
such a weapon, like that. You're not even. You don't even want to engage. You're not looking for a fight. You're just
never. It enables you to walk away from fights too. You know, because you're like, okay, I'll be this and I'll be that. But if it came down to it, I don't think I would. You know, I think every man, woman, and child on the earth should do jiu-jitsu. Not even to compete. I mean, just for the experiences. Because if you can get through that, if you can get through that ocean and drowning in that ocean consistently, life is not going to be a piece of cake, but you will understand.
That's it. You learn so much. And like people, this is the thing about this right now is that people hate this shit. We're talking about people that don't do it. People that do it like, people that don't do it, like fucking nerds. But I'll tell you, like when you're trapped under someone and you're just like, and you want to tap out, but they're not hurting you, but they're smothering you. And you want to tap out, and you have to talk yourself through it and go, I'm not gonna die. If I just last a few more minutes, a few more seconds, just don't tap yet. Right? They're just smothering you, and I can breathe. And like, you know, because it's like dealing with being uncomfortable. Which is like, I probably lived a life where I've always put my comfort in front of things and be like, I just want to be comfortable. But like, you know what? Dealing with those minutes, like you're there for 3 minutes, at around 5 minutes, maybe 7. It's uncomfortable. And you're being moved around, and you're being forced to do things you don't want to do. But that's fucking life, baby.
That's how you grow. I mean, there's not a day that, you know, I come to the gym, and you know, when Isaac and I are all at Cobriniers where we got our black belts and we're training, there's not a day where I feel like I'm gonna handle everybody on this mat.
Oh yeah.
For 14 years, I've been doing this. Every time I walk in, I'm like, okay, let me just get this shit over with. I've never felt comfortable. That's a great thing. You know, because it's a metaphor for life. It really is.
It's also really cool to see these dudes, like guys, because I was one of these guys, and I'm seeing guys that like white belts and blue belts that are like, they're figuring me out. And I used to be able to I had a couple moves I would do and just walk through them. Now they're just all figuring me out. They're like, you ain't doing any of that shit. And the thing that's fucked up is like, I'm probably one of the heaviest dudes in there. And these dudes are I'm like, how the fuck are you keeping me off you? I outweigh you by maybe 100 pounds. Past some of them, right? I could be 100. I could have 100 pounds on you, and you're fucking, I can't get around you. That's crazy. Like, there's crazy, dudes in there. There's dudes in there who, little tiny guys who I cannot get. By the rules of jiu-jitsu, I cannot get through them. I cannot stop. I can't beat them. And physically could like bench press and throw them across a room. And I cannot get through their defense. Like, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Like I'm like, how did you get me off you?
And it forces us to level up, because you having to deal with that forces you to recalibrate your game. Like, okay, so what am I doing now? I need to fix this. And it's interesting because people have the gi versus no gi thing. And they're like, you know, gi is very sporty, and you know, you're wrapping the gi around somebody's leg in the streets, you wouldn't do all that. And I'm like, yeah, you probably wouldn't. No gi is closer with the wrestling and the submissions. You're going straight to submissions. But what training in the gi gives you is that technical prowess. So you'll always approach things when you go no gi from a technical point of view, as opposed to let's just bash each other in the head until one of us feints.
Right.
You gambling. It's a 50-50 thing. Why would I want to gamble? I want to have a surefire path to dismantle you without having my knuckles up or breaking a finger or you know, I don't want to go into battle.
Safer for you, yeah.
Yeah, I want it to be safe for me. I want to get to that position. So I think that's what the working.
I love the
does.
no-gi. I love it because they can't. With no-gi, most people, the way they fuck with me is they're grabbing pieces of my gi and trying to control them. No-gi, they cannot. There's nothing to grab. Like you grab my arm, I'm just going like this.
Like, it's the most carnal way to fight. I mean, it's just mano a mano. We're going.
Yeah, so, no, it's good shit, man. Like I don't know, I love it, and I'm like I don't even. I just love doing it. It's crazy. I've never had this. I've never had this experience in doing anything physical like jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's fucking awesome. It's also like I'm also getting dropped into a place that's like it's a really nice like the place that we go to is like really nice. It looks beautiful. Everything's fucking beautiful. It's like the interaction's nice. Isaac's such a good guy, like such a nice, even guy.
Such a nice guy,
like just an absolute beast. But like there's no ego in there.
Yeah.
No one's got a fucking ego. Like you don't see a lot of fucking people in there coming in and trying to be dicks. You know, like once in a while you see them, but then
we'll weed them out.
You weed
real
them out
fast.
Yeah.
But it's a good environment. Great environment.
Yeah. I want to talk about your LA County story.
Oh shit!
Can we talk about that?
We talk about yeah.
Okay, because Howder came on and told a story about LA County. I think it'd be funny to hear your version.
Yeah, for sure.
You were saying we'll do that and we'll do a call and then have those animates and I gotta be out here in 15. I gotta like fucking fly. But it'll be short and sweet.
Would it be smart for me to mention the whole Bloods and Crips thing about how they're?
Hell yeah. Yeah. Run that shit.
Right.
Okay. So
LA County was wild. You ever been locked up? LA County?
I had a warrant.
You're still rolling. What'd you have a warrant for, Alex?
It was bullshit. I don't even really know. I just didn't pay a ticket and I didn't do it.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't know that you got
in LA.
Yeah.
They don't do that in Texas, huh?
Yeah, no.
I had those warrants as a kid for like bullshit. Like I think I got a jaywalking ticket that turned into a warrant when I was a kid, and I was like, well, they're like, you have to report to jail. I'm like, what? Yeah.
I mean, I had an outstanding warrant for something I'm not going to disclose. It was nothing bad. It's off my record and whatnot. But at the time,
I like listen. I got a warrant. Nothing bad. They just gave me. They issued a warrant because they didn't like my haircut.
They didn't like my haircut. Here's. Let me tell you a funny story. I was on Sunset, and I stopped at Starbucks. I'm gonna run this whole story down. It's wild. I stopped at Starbucks to get my favorite, chai tea latte. Yeah. And I don't have tags on my car. But the tags are at my place. The tags got delivered. I just didn't put them on the car that day.
Yeah.
So I see a police car come into the Starbucks driveway, and they're patrolling, circling. So I look, you're
in your car. Or you're in.
No, I'm in Starbucks.
You're inside.
I'm in Starbucks at the time. So I look and I see police.
You got a dress on.
Yeah, I ain't got no dress on this time. I just took the dress off, put on some slacks.
Right.
Dress was uncomfortable. It was hot, and it was Christmas time. It was around Christmas time. So I see the car, circle a lot. I'm looking. I'm like, oh, police. All right, whatever. Got my chai tea latte, and I come out, and I go to my car, and the car just pulls up like, woo, right next to the car. So the officer gets out. He's like, hey, you ain't got your tags on your car. I said, oh, don't even trip. I live right around the corner. Literally, I live right behind the Starbucks. I was like, my tags at my crib, I'm gonna put them on. We gonna be good. We good, right? So he looked at the car. He looked at me. He's like, yeah, we good. So he goes back to the car, and his partner gets out and whispers something to him. And then he turns back around.
He goes, he's black.
We can't let him go. What the fuck are you doing?
What did you do?
We don't let them go. Find something. So he comes back and he's like, hey man, he's like, I don't know what the fuck you did. I'm not lying, that's what he said to me. I don't know what the fuck you did, but I ain't never seen nothing like this in my life. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, you have an outstanding nationwide warrant. And I'm like, well, what the fuck does that mean? I don't know what that means. He's like, that means we taking you in, right? So I'm like, I'm blown away. I'm like, what could I have a nationwide warrant for? So they take me to the Hollywood station, and all the officers in there are trying to figure out why I'm there, what this nationwide warrant is about. So they're coming and they're asking me questions. You ever done this? You ever done that? I'm like, nah, man, I graduated master's degree. I'm an educator. I'm a theater student. I was like, man, I never get in trouble in my life. You know what I'm saying? I haven't done anything. And he's like, okay. So they keep asking me questions. And they just don't know. Finally, they find out what it is. I'm not gonna disclose it, but it wasn't that bad. So they find out what it is.
What was it?
And they're like, we have
bad.
to hold you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
hold me for it. They're like, we're gonna process you and send you to LA County.
Okay.
So all I know is what I've seen.
How long have you been in
Lockup.
LA by that time?
I've been in LA 16 years. 16 years.
So you've been there for a while.
I've been here for a while.
Oh, okay,
I'm local.
Right.
So all I know is what I've heard and what I've seen on lockup. LA
Right.
County is considered like a level 4 prison. It's
Yeah.
bad, all this shit.
Yeah.
So I spent a couple nights in Hollywood, so I'm stressed out. I'm calling people.
You're in the
whatever,
holding
whatever.
tank trying to
In
get
the
out of
holding tank trying to get out of there.
Yeah.
So one night, maybe like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, they moved me, right? Moved me downtown. So listen to this, man. I'm not bullshitting you. The whole processing thing legit takes maybe 10, 11 hours.
Yeah.
All right. So you sleep deprived and you're in there with, I'm exaggerating, but you're in there with millions of motherfucking,
Literally
millions of goons.
Yeah.
That don't
just
give a fuck
goons.
about shit.
Yeah.
If
Like
you,
and you see the real goons.
and you see the real
They're all in
goons
one place. You're like, oh my God.
all in one place. So they put me in this big ass holding tank. When it had to be at least 200 motherfuckers in there. And so I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not making none of this up. I'm sitting there. I'm just like, I got to go see the judge and whatnot. So I'm sitting there. I'm nervous, praying, talking to God. Cause you talk to God the most when you're in trouble. So I'm like, Jesus, Lord, please God, help me do this. I'm sitting there and this big, super muscular black dude with a bald head, got to be in his like 40s, but like he 6'4", maybe 240, 250, all muscle. He takes his shirt off and he stands on one of the bench and he's like on one of the benches and he's like, none of you motherfuckers can fuck with me. I'll fuck all you motherfuckers up. So I'm way across from him and I see him. Now there's about 200 motherfuckers in here. No way he can see me.
Yeah.
Right. So I look up and I'm like, oh shit, this is wild. Right. He takes his shirt off, and, he starts beating on his chest and shit. I'm like, God. So I put my head down. I'm sitting literally on the opposite side.
You're like, yes, sir.
Yeah, down on the bench where he can't see me. The motherfucker starts walking around the holding tank. And he's like perusing area, looking around. Somehow, some fucking way,
He wants to
makes
eat.
his way
He's
over
looking
to
for
me.
something to eat.
Yeah, and he makes his way over to me. And he's like, hey, man. And I have my head down. I'm like,
What did it say on his chest?
no, he just nothing.
No
he
tats?
just
Just
he was
bare-chested.
big
Oh, okay.
black muscular dude. Just
Right.
took his shirt off. Just was walking
Oh,
around
okay.
the holding tank. He was comfortable, shirtless in the holding tank. And he's
It
like,
said,
hey man,
I like ice cream on his chest.
I love motherfuckers like you. He's like, hey man. And I just, I keep my head down. I'm like, maybe if I just don't look at him, maybe he's not talking to me. And then he taps me on the shoulder. He's like, hey man, what's up? And I look at him and I'm like, hey, I don't want to be, I'm not trying to be, I'm like, hey man. He's like, what's up? I sense something about you, man. You look like you fight or something, man. Like you do something, man. And I was like, no, I don't fight, bro. I don't, he's like, nah, I can just tell something about you, man. And I was like, I do jujitsu, you know what I'm saying? I do martial arts. He's like, yeah, I can tell, man, that shit coming off you. In my mind, I'm like, is he saying that because he wants to fight?
Yeah.
Because I want to fight. I'm trying to get to the crib.
Yeah.
But he was really saying it because, for lack of a better word, I guess he thought we were kindred spirits or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got cool with him.
That's crazy.
His name was Stonewall. I'm not bullshitting.
What the fuck?
And he was like, he used to be the sparring partner for like Michael Spinks and all them back in the days.
Oh shit.
And so me and him got really, really cool. Make a long story short, Stonewall gets out. All these guys get out. I'm the only person who gets to have to
How
stay
the
in.
fuck did Stonewall just smell? He just goes.
He just smells me.
He
and
honed
walk-
in on it. He
Yeah,
just
and was
knew.
like, I can tell you can fight.
Wow.
Now, mind you, let me tell you something. I fight, but I ain't fighting nobody in LA County. I'm not. I
Yeah.
don't want no parts of that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, man, listen, I'm not even built like that, bro. I'm trying to go to Africa. I ain't even been to Africa yet.
Yeah.
I'm trying to travel. I want to see the world.
Yeah, you don't get caught up. In
Yeah, I
fucking
want to go to Thailand. I want
stabs
to, I
and-
want to do none of this. I get processed, which is like 11-hour, 12-hour ordeal. We getting shipped around, and they finally give me my orange. They put me in the orange, right? So we go into a big holding cell where there is like a tower where all the officers are, the guards, and they look at the different cells. Your cells are huge. There's at least 60 or 70 people in the cells, and there's upstairs and the downstairs, and there's towers that are tinted, and they look at you and watch you like hamsters in a glass cage. I'm not bullshitting. So I don't know where we're going. So I get a mattress in the orange, and so I get in there and I'll just start walking upstairs because I'm like, I guess I'll be bunk upstairs. I'm going upstairs, and all the black dudes that were downstairs like, yo, black, hey, black. Nah, black, hey, black, you with us. And I'm like, what are you talking to? And they're like, you with us. That's not ours. That's theirs. Talking about the South Siders and the Pisces and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I come downstairs. They give us the law of the land. You know, this is the way it is. This is our phones. This is their phones. This is our showers. This is their showers. You don't sit on this side. They sit on this side, whatever. So I'm in my mind, I'm like, this is some Oz type shit. Like, this is all real. It's all surreal to me.
Right.
I'm there, but I'm like, I'm in a fucking dream.
You're
this
disassociating.
Is not, I'm disassociating completely.
Yeah.
So you have the blacks.
Yeah.
You have the Southsiders and Pisces, which is a crew, right? And then you have the others, and the others were white, Asian, whatever, you know. So we all have our seats. So I'm in there, man, and it's just the wild thing was that, you know, you had your Bloods in there, you had your Crips in there and whatnot, but from my association, my understanding, you know, I'm like, the Bloods and Crips are formidable. You didn't feel like that when you were locked up in LA County. It was Southsiders and Pisces because obviously they outnumbered everyone 10-2, and their influence and their intimidation. I worked in the kitchen and I was cooking with one of them, and he's like, "Yo, man, I like you, man. I fuck with you, man." He's like, "If a fight break out, let's act like we fighting and we knock each other out so they won't kill you." And he started laughing. And he kept on stirring the soup. And I was like, "You for real?" He's like, yeah. And I was like, "Oh shit." So I got cool with everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't try to mob around like I was tough. I was hard. I got cool with everybody, and they would make me like those those crosses,
little lanyard,
out of the cotton and everything. And I was probably like the only black dude in our group that was cool with everybody.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying? And all of them fuck with me. That's when I realized, like, okay, man, you know, not that I had this whole jail thing figured out, but I was like, all right, man, if you cool, you cool.
Yeah.
Regardless of whatever. There's gonna be people in there that's gonna try you and whatnot, but if everybody fuck with you, they fuck with you.
Yeah.
But you would see the difference, just like in the real world. You'd have your assholes that would try. We had one dude in our group that went over there and used their bathroom, sat on their tables and stuff would happen. Stuff would happen.
Yeah.
And then you had other dudes that followed the rules and there was no problem. The
Right.
jail politics was just absolutely fascinating to me because
Yeah.
it was all the shit that I'd seen on television.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I started living it. After you got through working, you got to open up your ass cheeks. They check your ass cheeks for stuff. This was like an everyday thing.
Yeah.
The officers were like assholes. Like when they walked down the hallways, you'd have to turn around and face the wall. You couldn't look at them.
Right.
You know, and then I got extradited.
Oh, you did?
This is the crazy part of the story because my warrant was in Detroit.
Ah.
So I spent like 2.5 months in LA County, which was just wild. And then like at 3 a.m, because for some reason they like getting you at 3 a.m, the U.S. Marshals came to extradite me. So they put me on a bus. They shackled my hands together and they shackled my feet together and they shackled my hands to my waist like I was Hannibal Lecter.
Right.
And I get on the bus with a whole bunch of other motherfuckers. They don't care. If you have an outstanding warrant and they're extraditing you, they'll put you next to murderers, killers. It did not matter. And it was a 12-day bus ride. So if they catch you surfing and you have a warrant, they're taking you in your surf shorts through wherever, whether it's cold, winter, it didn't matter. And they would feed us McDonald's every morning, like nasty McDonald's. And there were 2 U.S. Marshals in the front with shotguns and 2 in the back. We stopped over at Davis County, Kentucky, which is another bad lockup that I watched on television. We spent Christmas there. The whole experience was so surreal. The guy that I was shackled next to, me and him became friends, and I was like, man, what you in here for? What they got you for? He's like, man, you know, people would always say some bullshit, you know, which means, you know, none of your business.
Yeah.
But he's like, man, some bullshit. You know, I'm working at Wendy's. I'm a manager at Wendy's now. I got my life together. Got my girl. He gave me a whole spiel. You know, I ain't got no reason not to believe him. I buy the whole thing. When we get to Detroit, we have a video arraignment. And he goes in before me. And the judge on the video monitor is like, on the count of murder 1, on the count of attempted assault, murder 2, she just called all this crazy shit out. And I'm looking at him like,
like Wendy's.
And as he's Wendy's. And as he walks by, he's like, good luck, man. And I'm looking like, the thing that I learned is all those guys, they were reoccurring offenders.
Yeah.
They all knew each other, and it was their world.
Yes.
Jail was their world.
Yep.
You know, and
No, it's a cult. There's a whole jail culture, especially in LA. The LA is so much of the culture of LA. The quote unquote street culture is jail culture. Like a lot of fashion has come out of like people don't understand, but come out of jail.
100%.
Like a lot of people dress like they dress in jail on the street. Then that gets adopted by, and next thing you know, there's like a dude on a runway dressed in what was a jail kid at one point.
Yeah,
you know,
which
like
is
that shit
wild.
happens. It's crazy.
Crazy, man.
Crazy. Well, that was a damn. That was a hell. I want to.
I got more. I got detail stories. I got knife stories. I got all types of stuff.
Knife stories.
I got crazy stories. Yeah, people pull out knives on me. You know, I got jail. Jail was a surreal experience. Eye opening is what it was.
And then you don't want to go back.
No. I don't listen. I don't even.
What happened? Wait, someone pulled a knife on you? Okay, I gotta hear this story, and then we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah. I had to piss, and I pissed in the you know, in the wrong.
Oh, you pissed in the wrong.
Yeah. Someone pulled a knife on me, and you know. That shit that you see on TV, that shit that you see on TV when they swing the knife and the guy goes like this.
Yeah.
That shit is real. You do that for real. You're like,
oh, he tried to get you.
Yeah.
How'd you get out of the altercation?
Whole thing. Two other black dudes grabbed him. I was like, ugh. I did the whole backup thing, and two other black dudes grabbed him, and you know he's like, you fucking pissing. Some weirdo shit. Cause I'm like, it's a toilet seat, man. What the fuck?
Right.
You say you don't really own this shit, you know. But I think you know, in that scenario, in that world, you know, that toilet seat is everything now. Because
I mean, it's like the.
Well, not toilet seat, but the latrine, whatever. The fuck.
If you think about it, like the politics of people inside of a jail, everything, because there has to be politics wherever you are. And if you're in the world, they're this big, but then you're in the jail, it goes into, there's only a few things to politic about. Yeah. And it's like food and where you shit and where you sleep. And like, that's it. And then all that shit's very, you know, and it's, you know,
real.
It's yeah.
A bag of oodles and noodles are money.
Good,
a bag of oodles and noodles like cryptocurrency in jail.
Yeah. When I started getting arrested and shit, I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I never ended up in county. I would get arrested, go in the holding tank, get out in OR, a few days, and then like I would get a few days here, a few days there, and then I was like, I don't like it. I just didn't like, the thing that got to me was not even so much being in there, but the fact that some fucking asshole had jurisdiction over me and could tell me. Like I remember I was in jail one time, just in a holding tank, and I was sitting there and I fucking couldn't eat any of the food. And this officer was eating ice cream. And I just I was looking at him like, just not making a scene, but just looking at me, the ice cream was being like, God damn, that looks good. And he goes, stop looking at me. And I was like, but then when someone tells you not to, I'm like looking at it, it's like, if you fucking look at me one time, I'm coming in there. I'm like, this motherfucker has to tell me I can't watch him eat ice cream. I'm like, how much control does a person have over another person? But you know, hey man, they catch you doing shit and you lose your rights. You really lose your fucking rights,
really
especially
lose
here.
your rights.
I mean, it's not like, you know, you see every once in a while on Instagram, you'll see like, this is what jail in Sweden looks like. And it's like, they have like a gaming console and a couch. And you're like, this is amazing.
It's amazing.
Send me there, you know? Okay, we got to wrap it up. It is, we got to wrap it up. What a fucking show. Good show. Really good show. O'Neill came through. We got to have you back on.
I appreciate you having me, man.
I want to have you on for like when you have more time, we'll do a whole.
Oh, I'm down.
Break it down.
I got some stories for you.
Yeah, you got some stories.
I got some crazy stories.
We got a lot of shit to talk about. We can't. Are there any other people still waiting? And I gave them 3 subjects, O'Neill. The subjects are, they can talk to me about the movies Dune and Sicario. They can talk to me about a crazy wedding story, or they can get something off their chest and tell me the truth about something.
Okay, cool.
And if they don't honor those subjects, I'm hanging up on them. I'm gonna be hanging up fast.
Have you guys been waiting a long time? Because I was in the bathroom just now.
No, we're taking one last call of the day. You're the one. What's up? What's going on?
What's up? I'm working. I've just been waiting, honestly.
You're working from home?
Yeah, look at this gay ass laptop.
What is it, a PC?
Yeah.
We had a whole segment about PCs, and I don't even want to talk about them anymore. It's fucking disgusting. So, Rick, are you gonna? This is the last call of the day. Do you have a subject from our prescribed list? What do you call from our syllabus? Do you have a subject you're gonna pick to talk about? Because if you don't, we're gonna hang up on your ass.
You can hang up on me at any time. I wouldn't be mad, but I do have a dark secret.
Yes.
That only a couple people know.
Yes.
Have people not been giving secrets? I feel like that's the only thing.
No, secrets. I'm really here for the secrets, to be honest. The other shit's just fucking bull. I want the secrets. Okay.
Well, I was living with my good friend, who was dating one of my best friends. She was more of my best friend than I was his friend. But sometimes we will just hook up, and she and she doesn't know. And he's like straight-ish, but she's like very straight.
Oh, wait, who would hook up? You and him or you and her?
Me and I'm gay.
Okay.
You can maybe tell.
We couldn't tell. We couldn't tell. So, yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah. But yeah, me and him would hook up.
Oh shit.
And but she would always like spend the night at our place, and like just like whenever she wasn't there, we would just like have a couple beers and then just mosey on over back to his room.
Okay. So you were smashing. Okay. Let me just get this straight. Which one was your best friend? Him or her?
Her.
She was your best friend, and she was your roommate, or he was the roommate?
He was the roommate.
Okay. She's your best friend, and she was fucking your roommate. But you were also smashing the roommate.
Mm-hmm. So he was just getting.
He was getting the best of both worlds.
He really is. I mean, every night there will be someone there to take care of him.
The Jamaicans might have something to say about this. You know what I mean?
You said Jamaican?
This is
not this Jamaican, but the other Jamaicans. I have a question for you. Obviously, it's a deep, dark secret. So she doesn't know.
He doesn't know?
No, she doesn't. She doesn't know.
Oh. I was like, no.
Now, do you?
I don't know if someone has told her by then. But
are you recording the video for this too? Rick, just so you know, full transparency, you're on. We can see you on this. Do you need Do you want to be seen?
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
wait, you're gonna show this, huh?
We don't have to, but maybe it's a way to get it off your chest.
That's why I was asking. I was like, okay,
you definitely got it off his chest. Hey,
Have people not been showing their face?
People have been coming up with the camera. Yeah, they've been getting FaceTimed in. You're on. I can see you. You're in my living room right now.
I don't like being a non, but I feel like for this instance, well, I don't know if they would listen. Maybe.
Someone listen. I'm just gonna be the good part of me is gonna tell you that somebody somewhere is gonna air you out and let them know 100% if you put your face here.
Facts.
The part of me that loves the show is gonna tell you no one's ever gonna see this or hear this or listen to it. So you make your own choice. But I think it's a hell of a story. I feel like you at some point. Here's the issue here, homeboy. You're fucking him, and she doesn't know, and she's your best friend. I mean,
we're not friends anymore either. It's not me and her aren't friends either.
Are they still together?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
you're not even. Yeah, you're good.
You're
man.
good, man. Yeah.
And do you still live with him?
No.
So you're not? Are you still clapping them cheeks or no?
Every now and then, he like stayed with me a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait.
But now he just sends me like illicit videos on Instagram.
Is this something that? I mean, do you possibly have mutual friends that could be listening that could find out it's him? Like, is this something he wouldn't want out?
There's a lot of feedback.
There is feedback. Honestly, my speakers are trash. You could probably hear that.
What is he turning the speakers off?
No, I'm turning my speakers down.
Turn them down. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
You didn't think this all the way. You didn't think this all the way through, huh, bro?